as long as the narrative is controlled and everything we've spoken about, it's going to be harder for younger people to form a different opinion, I think. Because the current trend is as you get older, you tend to be more conservative, right? I don't know if that is still the trend now, but I think to form your own opinion at an early age is very difficult.
Yeah. And then you've got the education system, which if they go to public schools, they're getting told the narrative, they're getting taught the narrative. Then they get home from school. What do? They go on to social media or video games or social media or they watch Disney or whatever entertainment. But all that's being controlled as well. So
Well, yeah, because those
look at what
very
happened
same,
with Matt Walsh.
yeah, those very same people are getting employed by. So it's kind of like a system. They're like indoctrinating kids in the education system to think a certain way. They're then hiring those people in these companies, and then they're projecting their ideology onto the rest of the world.
Yeah, and it can be really difficult if the education system is against you in a sense where they don't think like you, even if your own family maybe doesn't think like you. Like if you're the one out of your friend group or your family that, or even your class, if you're going to school that thinks differently, it could feel so isolating, or just thinks for themselves or wants to do things differently. And they make you feel like you're the problem. It's just it's very backwards for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe loneliness is the biggest thing the world faces right now. Maybe even leftist people feel lonely at times, which I don't think they do because there's so many of them. But I think, I
Surely
don't
they must also feel isolated in the thoughts. What I don't get is, well, we could say it about us then. Like, are we brainwashed? Because I don't understand how that many people can't look at the other side of the story or look at the opposite side of it. Because I can look at the opposite side, but I just think that's batshit crazy half of it. But what they think that's what they think about what we think.
maybe. I don't know. I feel like see, I've always been somebody that's questioned something from a very young age, and I've always been on like I've always looked at it from both sides. Like I remember when I was a kid and someone told me about conspiracy theories, and like from 14 I've looked at all this stuff, you know. So it's like I think as you get older, it's harder to have that debate with people, like especially like adults who are set in their ways. They don't want to hear a different side. So I think you've got to go through that process at a younger age to have that.
Yeah, because a lot of us or a lot of people like this have been on the other side. Maybe not to the extreme that we're seeing now, but have been on the side where they thought that people like us, like if we were on this side, people like us were crazy or didn't make sense, or oh, they're ist this, they're biased this. But then you realize it. So, with that side of things, or you know what I'm trying to say, it's like, yeah, they can't put themselves in other people's shoes. And that's why I think a lot of this is a mental health problem, like genuinely.
Like I think a, a lot of stuff on the leftist side, to me anyway, doesn't. It seems to lack a bit of common sense. When I say a bit, that's saying it nicely. But it's like they try to be accepting of everybody, but how can you be accepting of everybody when all cultures don't accept everybody? So, for example, when the World Cup was going on in Qatar, how can the leftists complain about the Qataris not allowing the rainbow flag at the stadium because it doesn't agree with their ideology? How can the leftists then say they're wrong because they're in their religion? It says that they can't, like, homophobics against the Islamic religion. Well, how can they accept them and accept gay people? And it just makes my head go like, whoa, like, how can you try and accept everybody when everybody doesn't accept everybody?
A few words, it's just a lot of hypocrisy on that side. I've noticed tons of hypocrisy and like inconsistency with arguments and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I need to give an opinion on that. I feel like I'm just going to give the same one.
Yeah, but if that group was set up with more solid foundations, then there
If
wouldn't
the
actually be a
foundations are built
problem.
on lies and distortion and false
That's the thing.
realities.
If
Yeah.
it was built a bit stronger and on real foundations, then we would then feel included, having our opinions.
Well, I never feel included on parents that want to change their kids. I don't know about you, bro, but that's I don't know about that one.
But it would be one group who would listen to each other, and then we would be able to have them debates.
Mm,
But we can't even have them debates. I've seen them on YouTube when they try and have them debates, and it just ends up in a fucking like an argument, and horrible.
yeah, because everybody thinks they're right, and it doesn't matter what side you're on. Everybody thinks their opinion is the right opinion. I think maybe, and especially with I feel like with leftist side, they tend to be more emotional. So they let their emotions get the better of them, and like leftists want to get rid of the idea of stoicism. So you just react instantly with your emotion, and everybody's crying. That's what I think, and that's what I've noticed as well. With the channel and making certain videos, I've become more grounded and stoic. So maybe that's another correlation there.
And then there's these other sides of people saying that, oh, it doesn't even matter, like, oh, this doesn't matter, like, who cares, people can do what they want, or, oh, don't focus on this, it's just a distraction. So then there's other people looking at it from an outside perspective, and they're usually the ones that kind of, I don't want to say they don't think about things, they kind of just, I don't know, live life the way I guess an average person would live, and then they think we're the ones that care too much, oh, we're grifters, or oh, like, it's just a distraction, and then you have people like that as well, like that side of things too.